Okay, you are now tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
Five, four.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl Audi 3000, and this is episode 42. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. If you tuned into last week's episode, thank you very much. This is episode 42, like I said earlier, which is mind blowing. I was having a conversation with Hav earlier today, who's actually in the building with me. So shout out to Hav, who's my audio and visual today. Yay! And actually, every episode of the Ambition Our podcast, he has been there for me. So thank you for that. If this is your first time here on DubTDub TV or DubTDub Radio, I want to invite you to join the DubTDub family. And you might ask, how do you join? AuDii? I almost called myself my government name. How do you join the DubTDub fam? All you got to do is hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell that's on the side, and you'll be a part of the DubTDub fam. Now, if you're listening to us on SoundCloud or Apple, all you have to do is just subscribe or follow us on either platform. On either platform, it is WTW Radio. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you already know it's WTW TV. This is WTW Saturdays, which you might ask, what is WTW Saturdays? And that is that we drop a new song, a new video, and a new podcast. So as you can see, it's a new podcast today. But we also have a new song and video by Spitz by the name of Grizzly. I just saw the video literally right before we started the episode, and it is epic. It was directed, filmed, edited by Hav. And Spitz has some editing things in there too. So happy for that. That's I think it's like what, the 45th video that we have dropped already on WTW TV, or like the WTW fam has dropped, which is insane. I remember this year alone only in 2018. Guys, this is insane. This is what WTW is for. Now, if you want access to all things WTW, all you have to do is go to the website, which is WTWrecords.com. There you'll be able to check out the merchandise that we have. You'll be able to check out all the links of all the videos, the songs, the podcast. Everything that we have is up on that page. So remember to visit WTWrecords.com. And I am so excited because the podcast has its own stickers. Guys, we have our own stickers. Can the camera see it? Can they see it? I am like so excited. I've never had stickers of anything that I've ever done in my entire life before. So I'm really excited. If you guys have seen, you guys have probably gone to like Wynwood and have seen these beautiful WTW Records stickers, or even the beach. If you've been in San Francisco, in the one of the toppest points in San Francisco, you can see it there, even in some piers, and I know that Hav put some in some other places in LA, and the WTW stickers already popping, so we about to do the same thing for the Ambition Hour podcast one. I'm so excited. Like, it was so funny because I got the stickers and then I'm like, okay, who can I give these to? And then at my office, some people know, that I do. Shout out to everybody who, if you are watching and you work with me, hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. At first I was super shy to like even talk about my podcast, but then it came out one time, and so I was just like, all right, whatever, fuck it. People can know. I was shy about it, not because of like what I talk about or what I say, because it's just, but it's also because I'm not like that at work. At work, I'm very, I'm a serious person at work. No, not a serious person, but it's just, everybody has, their work life, and then they have like, the life outside of work. And I'm very outspoken on here. So I was just giving it to my coworkers, and a lot of them thought that it was so cool. They're like, this is your sticker for your podcast. Like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then one of the people that I gave it to, like, they put it on like one of the things that they have on their desk. So every time that I pass by that desk, I see it, and it was pretty cool. I'm really happy about that. And honestly, it wouldn't be possible without you guys, the viewers, the listeners, because we wouldn't be doing as many episodes as we are doing if it wasn't for you guys, because somebody's liking it. Hey, thank you for that somebody. It might be only a couple of y'all, but it's all good. We love you equally. I still haven't been on Instagram. I've been what is it, 17 days strong without Instagram. I'm gonna say it. I miss it. I miss my followers. I miss, being on my story and talking shit or, it's just it. But I am going to say that I feel amazing. I think I have like 10 more days left in the cleanse, and I do feel good. I feel more connected with reality, my reality, with what's really going on in my head, in my mind, and I'm able to process it differently without having Instagram like distract me from what's really going on. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. Just because I know that I do have a social media addiction. I just honestly have an addiction to my phone. It's really bad. Like my phone is next to me right now. Like I have no reason for my phone to really be next to me because I can just write everything down. But gotta have it. You never know. Something might pop up in my head that I have to look it up on my phone. But it's all good. So this week was actually it was my 6 year anniversary of having signed up as an Herbalife member. And this year, I decided earlier this year that I was going to switch from an Herbalife distributor to an Herbalife preferred member. Without really getting into like the details of what that really means, is one is doing the business and one is just a customer. So I was doing the business for 5 years, as some of you know. I was doing the Herbalife business for 5 years, and last year, I decided to. I wanted to do the business like around this time. I think it's been a year as well that we've been doing like we've been going full force and starting with this new 5 year plan that we have of like Hav doing music, Spitz, having Spitz doing the whole music thing and performing and things like that and going to Miami Live. I think it's already been a year since we've been doing that. So that in itself is beautiful. And shout out to that. It's been a year. Hey, can we clap it up, Hav? I remember walking into Miami Live like, what the hell? Like it was. Shout out to Killer K too, who has been a guest on the show. He was episode 9 of the Ambition Hour podcast. One of the funniest episodes. He talks about a time that he saw Michael Jordan at a car wash in the hammocks, which is literally like 10 minutes away from here. Hilarious episode. And so I decided to switch my membership from being an Herbalife distributor to being a preferred member. And it was honestly very bittersweet, because I knew it's what I wanted. I knew I wanted to become an Herbalife I knew I wanted to switch to a preferred member earlier this year. And I was already preparing for that. I was already like mentally, I already knew that that's what I wanted to do, that I wanted to switch to a preferred member. But then when it was time to do it, I was just like, it was kind of like letting a part of me go, and it was also a part of me that, not that I'm trying to forget it, but I just want to leave that in my past. Like, I just want to leave like what that was to me, like in the past, but I also want it has shaped me become the woman that I am today. I was able to learn so much from just being an Herbalife distributor and changing my mindset, and it actually taking my mindset to the next level and teaching me about personal development and teaching me about really listening to people, because I was a coach. I was helping people with their health. So about listening to them and listening to what they want, and then not just helping me reach my goals, but also helping other people reach their goals. So it was just a bittersweet moment, because it was kind of like it's kind of like a breakup. You know what I mean? When you like know that you I kind of gotta let you go, but you don't want to, because of all of the memories that you have and all the things that you guys taught each other. And it's just so to me, like, I always like that whole thing with Herbalife. I always compare it to a breakup, because I've gone through a bad breakup. I was with somebody for 4 years, and then we ended up, when we broke up, it was kind of like the same thing. And then I often see myself like going through the same like coping mechanisms of like when you go through a breakup. Like, I don't want to see pictures of when I used to do Herbalife. I don't want to see when I used to go to events, or like when people go to events, I don't want to see those like now I can see them. Now it's fine. Like, now it's not. But like in the beginning, it was something that it was something that I really was like trying to um I guess kind of distance myself from. But I love the products. I still drink them like all the time. Like, I fucking love them. Like, I cannot wait to eat so I can have a tea, like a strong ass tea to wake the soul up. You know what I mean? There's been I think Treese was on the show one time, and him and I were sipping some tea on the first time that he came, and it's just something that is always going to be a part of me because I just love it. And this week also I celebrated my 1 year anniversary for being at my job. I'm so excited. It's funny because I love November. November is such an awesome month for me. Like, it's either awesome or it's something life changing happens, and it just so happens that my 6 year anniversary with Herbalife was on Monday, and then my 1 year anniversary with my job was on Thursday, which was also payday, so I was extra happy. And it was just so awesome, like knowing that I've been at my job for 1 year. I was an Herbalife distributor for 5 years, but I think I only think the longest job that I held during that time was like 8 months, and that might be a stretch. And it not that I was fully committed to the vision of what it was to be an Herbalife distributor. So I would work a job, kind of to just like kind of de-stress the bills a little bit, and then I would pick like the business would pick up, so I'll just leave the job or whatever. I was a horrible like person at leaving jobs when I was doing Herbalife. It was so bad. But I'm very grateful that I've been at my job for a year. I sent a thank you email to my bosses, which I think is very important because yeah, you may not always like your job, but you have to always be grateful that you can pay your bills, you can pay your bills on time, that you have a bigger purpose than what it is that like, I don't know, like, I guess because since I was doing Herbalife for such a long time, and then going into an office job, which is something that I fucking love, working in an office, and for more reasons than one of the main reasons is because I love being on the computer, like, and that whole typing shit, and like, dressing up all cute, and it's just awesome. So I'm just very grateful. And I was happy to celebrate that 1 year anniversary. My week this week, besides, the two kind of like awesome moments, like the 1 year anniversary and then the 6 years and then switching to a preferred member, I did have and was suffering from an insane migraine. I had that did not stop no matter what I took. It was insane. My mind was going crazy. And I'm the type of person who I'm very hard on myself, because when you have a migraine, it's really hard for you to focus in some time and like in some of the things that you're doing. So I felt like that stress of like trying to get rid of the headache caused even more stress. It turned it into a migraine. I felt like because I was resting, and at the same time I was having hip pain. So you guys, some of you guys know, if you've watched the show before, I do have like my hip, like, it can get stressed. Like, I got a little pain in my hip. I'm actually, well, I was icing it earlier in the episode, but now I'm icing my knee. Man, age catching up to me, man. Let me tell you, man, I'm about to be 30. Oh, if you have any suggestions of what I should do for my 30th birthday, like, please let me know. I'm thinking of going on a cruise, but it might not be on the actual month of my 30th birthday. But if you have any ideas, I always think that it would be so dope to have like an artist showcase. So let's put that into existence. An artist showcase for my 30th birthday, bitch. What? That'd be dope as fuck. Oh my God, I already know what artist I would want in there. But yeah, obviously it would be local artists. I'm not thinking like, that I can get Wayne on here or something. But so yeah, so my week was a little, it was a little hectic because of the headache, and then I had a bad hip pain, and then one of the things that I always do when something like this is happening, it's like, what is God trying to teach me? Somewhere in this pain lies a lesson. What is the lesson? I still feel like I'm still learning it because I'm trying to really understand why. Because during the time that I'm having the headache, the last thing I'm trying to think is like, what am I supposed to learn here? And now thinking about it and sharing it with you guys, I feel like the lesson that it was just kind of like a lot of the things that the reason why I was experiencing that, it was fear. I was afraid of something bad happening in November. I was afraid that even like just like relationship behaviors like with people, and like just in my mind, like it was just like a continuous like battle that was going on in my head that I had to kind of like calm down. And then because one of the things that I learned, not just in the Charlemagne book but also in the book that I'm also reading, which I've read more than once, the 28 days of soul coaching, is like, if you ask your mind a question, it's going to answer it. So if you ask your mind a dumb question like, why do I have this headache, and then sometimes it's not even like I would be like, why do I have this headache, and then I go into like a bombard of lists of reasons why I have this headache. And then I start thinking about a random conversation that I had with a coworker. And then I'm thinking about that conversation, and then it trickles down to something else, and then it trickles down to another thing. And then the headache just gets worse. And then so then now it kind of like takes me into this realm of like, okay, you cannot be asking your mind kind of questions like that, because then you're just going to give yourself a bigger headache. So now what you got to do is you got to start asking yourself like, okay, how can I make healthy mental decisions? Like how can I make decisions that are not going to cause me to go into that kind of like snowball effect, is what I can call it, of your mindset of like, okay, so now I'm thinking about this, and then it goes down to X, Y, and Z, and then you go back to A, B, C, and then you're starting to like go to so then it's just kind of like, I just need to learn to have a healthier conversation with myself in my mind. And if me just asking myself like, how can I have a healthier conversation in my mind, then that's going to bring healthy conversations in my mind, because any question that you ask your mind is going to give you, a dumb answer. So yeah, so that's just, that was just something that was, that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. And yeah, so like what I continue to learn, like especially with my hip pain, is like that I have to be patient with myself, and I can't overexert myself. I'm such an extremist on everything that I do. And one of those things is going to the gym. So I was going to the gym, and not that I was going crazy or like anything like that, but I have to also remember that my body is not going to operate the same way that it used to, like, 2 years ago, when I would be able to, do 2-a-days, or, lift super heavy weight. My hip can't take that like it used to. And it's also teaching me that I have to stop being a little bitch and go to the doctor and have somebody really look at my hip, because this pain is real. The pain is real, you guys. But it's all good. We keep a positive mindset. We keep a positive attitude. We continue moving forward. We don't let things like this, hold us back from nothing. So I cannot remember specifically when I promised my dad this, but I know that it has been a very long time that I promised my dad what I'm about to share with you guys. And it was that I was going to invite him to go to see Marc Anthony. So you guys can see there's a picture of me and him at the concert last night. And it was just so fucking crazy. Like, I got the tickets in August, mind you. I got the tickets in August, and I told him, I'm like, hey, happy early birthday. His birthday's in September. This is something that I have been promising him, and honestly, not just promising him, but it's been part of my goal list. Like, when you set your goals for yourself, it was my goal list, like, I don't know how many times. I remember there would be years that I would be, I would be making good money, and instead of, like, buying a ticket for him, or like buying the ticket to go to see the concert, I would spend it on something else, or I would go to an event that I had to go to. It just never happened. And thankfully, I've been, making a good income at my job, and I was able to, bring that dream into fruition. And let me tell you, the concert was last night. And because I know I talked about it with the episode with Dookie about how I was able to do that. Shout out to Dookie. And just like, it was crazy because I was so scared for the concert. Like, it was so weird. Like, I was scared that something was gonna happen. I was scared that something was gonna happen to my car. I was scared that there was so many things that I was scared of, and then that's probably why I also had a headache. But yeah, so it was just pretty interesting. We ended up going out drinking a little bit before, not gonna lie. That's why my voice is a little raspy. Y'all hear it? I was screaming for Marc. Boy, let me tell you, I was going crazy. So very quickly, we get to the oh, okay. So we get to Chili's. We start drinking, we start socializing. My dad can make friends with the fucking wall, of course. So he made friends. He made friends with people sitting next to us at Chili's, and it was pretty funny because we got to meet them. And then, okay, because I got my outfit. All right, so I get my outfit, and so he's telling me, he's like, oh, so tomorrow that means that I gotta go get a red shirt. Mind you, my dress is red. So I tell him, I'm like, we having a cute little daughter, son daughter. We having a cute little daughter dad, date night or whatnot. But this ain't prom, player. We are not matching shirts. This is not what this is. I'm like, you wear yourself a nice little navy blue shirt if you got one, or don't match with me. I had to let him know. I'm like, I don't need people thinking that we're together. Not that it matters, or like other people, but it's just like, I just thought the matching was too much. Like, even if I had a man, I'll be like, we don't got to match, babe. Like, this is not prom. And so that happens. So then we obviously, like, my dad, we ends up meeting the people who are sitting next to us in Chili's, and we end up having a conversation. And then he understands that I'm his girlfriend, like, that I'm my dad's girlfriend. And then because he calls in Spanish is niña, like niña is my daughter, or niña is girl. And so the man, when my dad starts saying like, oh, my niña, or like la niña, he understands that it's his girlfriend, but in like, and he says cariño. Cariño is like a sweet way. So he's like, oh, I just thought you were saying that cariñosamente. And I'm like, oh, hell no. This man really thought we were together. He's like, no judgment. He's just like, because, you just never know, And then, so it was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And then, like, even just, like, going through, like, the metal detectors. And I just realized that I just did something so, like, shout out. This is how you know that Hennessy takes out another side of me, because the guy okay, so now that I'm thinking is the beep. You guys remember Soul Plane? Like, no, not Soul Plane, from the Cedric the Entertainer thing, that he's like, a beep, a beep. So that just popped into my mind right now. But when the guy, he does the metal detector to me, I do like a little shimmy. I would never do a shimmy on a regular day. I would never shimmy when someone is freaking checking, like, metal detecting my ass. Like, and he didn't even have to. I was wearing a tight ass dress. If I was hiding something, like, you would see it in that tight ass dress. But yeah, so that was pretty funny. And then so initially, I made sure that I got, like, the best seats that I could get. I didn't get, like, front row or anything like that, but I got the best seats that at that moment, when I was looking through the seats, I got, the seats that I thought would be the best. And so one thing is picturing it in your mind, especially I've been to the AAA a couple of times. I've been to the AAA more than once, definitely more than once. And so we get there, and like, I see where we're sitting, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, this is so insane. This is a concert that I have been promising to take my dad for such a long time. And this is where we're sitting. Like this is where my dad is going to see Marc Anthony come out. And I just remember like this was yesterday, so this is very vivid in my mind. And so like we're just talking, and like it's Miami, so the concert says it starts at 8 o'clock. That's usually never the case. It's like 8 o'clock, and then some people will come out on your dumb ass at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Mark didn't do that to us, thank God. But yeah, so Mark comes out. As soon as he like comes out and like I see him, like I just get so emotional. And I like get emotional, and then like I just like look at my dad, and I just see him like get emotional too. And then like I kind of like hug him. I think I hugged my dad like a million times yesterday at the concert, because like I really wanted to be present, and kind of like I wanted there to be a feeling attached to the concert. And one of that feelings was just like, just like really like hugging him, or like I would grab his hand, or like his arm, or just like we're here, like we are here. And he was just so excited. He was like a little kid. Mark did an amazing job. Now I've been to a lot of concerts. I've been to over 20 concerts. Mark is in the top 5. Guaranteed. Like top 5 for sure. One of the best concerts that I've ever been to, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to do that for my dad, but also just to do it in general, and to have just like crossed that out of my goals list was just an amazing experience. And Mark delivered like I knew he would. Shout out to Marc Anthony, who took like two 10-second breaks throughout the whole fucking show. Like he killed it. He killed it. And what's crazy is that what I saw yesterday, he's gonna do it again tonight. Like, I don't know. That man's a legend. That man's a legend, and I'm so happy that I was able to do that. Like I said, I've been to many concerts. He's in my top 5 for sure. And so this past week, it was funny because when I was suffering through the whole thing of my migraine, I was in traffic, and I noticed that I was really a bitch when I got really bitchy when I was driving. Now, I'm naturally kind of like that when I'm driving, because motherfuckers don't be knowing how to drive. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is what I did to kind of like make myself laugh, kind of get out of the mood that I was in. I go to YouTube. The first thing that I see is the Migos did a carpool karaoke with what is that guy's name? We need to find out his name. I think it's like hold on. We this he is he can really sing. He can sing, he can rap, he like really hit. Okay, so his name is James Corden. And he's done carpool karaoke with a lot of people. He's done it with like Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez. He's done it with Ariana Grande. He's done and I think Big Sean and Tracy Ellis Ross have done their own, which he like takes her to the studio, funny as hell. But yeah, so the one that I see is the one with Migos. Okay, so they get in the car, everything is all cool. And you guys know, like, the Migos, like, they're from Atlanta, so they talk, like, the way that they talk, the way that they express themselves is very Atlanta, like, very, hip hop ish, And so it was awesome because, first they sing a Whitney Houston song. Like, one of the songs that they do is like, they do, of course, like, the walk it like I talk it. They talk about their ad libs that they do, and what's their favorite one. And Takeoff's was Mama. And then like it was just it was dope how like they broke that down, and like the ad libs part, like how everyone's favorite ad libs. And then fucking Offset like was carrying $200,000 in his fucking bag, and like so this dude is counting that money like in the carpool thing. And so they're singing like Whitney Houston, and which is one of my favorite songs. And it's so funny because I don't just see like, okay, like, yeah, that song is playing. I want to see who's really singing it. So I would look at like Offset and like Takeoff because they're sitting in the back seat, and then Quavo is in the front. And so I'm looking and I'm just like, bro, they really know these lyrics to this song. I love it. And it also kind of makes me question, like, do they like pick the songs they're going to do before they go in the car? Do they practice? Does he practice? I have so many questions for that, that carpool karaoke thing. Because I only have assumptions. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then so since he had the money, they like went shopping. Like they went shopping to go get clothes with him, and like they were the ones who dressed him, and it was so funny. He's just like, I look like a dad who's going through like a midlife crisis right now. And then so like they tell him, they're like, you gotta have confidence, like you got the drip right now, like you gotta have confidence. And it was funny because he would like always go back to like, the dad like going through something, and it's because he is a dad, so he sees it that way too. But he also sees it like kind of like that he's kind of like having a crisis because of, I guess, like how he looks at himself. But then he like tells it, but then like they teach him like, no, you gotta have confidence, like you gotta have, you gotta work it, you gotta own it, you gotta. So once he does that, he like, but it was funny because they're like, he's like looking at the price tags of like all of the stuff that that he's getting, and he's like, this is like really expensive. Like it was like pretty expensive. And then he's just like, these are like sandals and stuff. It was funny, so you have to go ahead and watch it. That kind of like helped me with the headache that I was going through, and then kind of like the mood that I was in traffic. But then I noticed that because I would see, that's what happens when you don't be paying attention and you're in traffic. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get where you're going because you ain't cutting through people. Don't do that, kids. But yeah, so that was a hilarious thing. I loved it. It kind of like, it brightened up my mood. I sent it to Hav like right away, and because I thought it was just hilarious. And it was funny because they talk about the originators of the dab, and then dab is just kind of like swag, and then they made it into a dance. So I think that that's pretty cool. And so in hip hop news, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about hip hop news that I kind of saw this past week that happened. If I'm not mistaken, it is the oh shit. It is the 19th. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? The 19th. There you go. Dr. Dre released his sophomore solo album, The Chronic 2001, 19 years ago. So shout out. That was the one that brought us the la da 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 da, right? Bro, I remember being in fifth grade hearing this song. No, it wasn't. I remember being in fifth grade listening to that song, but okay, so I was like in sixth, seventh grade when that album dropped. So, so we're just gonna read real quick. The quality of work that makes up Chronic 2001 is epic. Of course, the production of this album is more solid than most, coming from Dre himself, along with Mel Mann and Lord Finesse, but he vocal features that were at Dre's disposal due to his success at the time also helped to make the project such a classic. Rappers such as the DOC, Hitman, Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Exhibit, Nate Dogg, and Eminem made appearances on this album. It would be an understatement to say that this project was an influential part of West Coast rap and culture. So if you go back in time, that album like represented the West Coast all the fucking way. I remember being here because it was 2001, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we had been living in Miami for 3 years, and so them California roots were deep in us, like no matter what, like like I remember hearing that, and it was just like it didn't like when you heard that, nah, 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 it's a motherfucking D-R-E, man. And then that whole smoke weed every day shit, like what the fuck, Drake. I also noticed because they do say that photographer Jonathan Manian reveals the original photo used for the Black Album cover. And that was pretty dope. I love seeing shit like that because the picture for the Black Album, they used it from, I think it was the blueprint. Yeah, it was for the blueprint. And so though it's so crazy how like a photographer can just like completely change an entire picture, like because that they do not look the same. um so I did see something. You guys know that I don't really care for Takashi 69, but I did see that he canceled his tour and that he fired his entire team. Lord knows what that guy's going through. I'm just gonna open this because I'm a little intrigued now.
Yeah, they stole a lot of money from him.
They stole money from him.
Yeah, they were gonna pay him 300,000 for a tour, and the contract was for 3 million.
Well, here it says the rainbow colored hair wrapper has been the. I'm done. They did not have to say that. They did not have to say that. The rainbow colored hair wrapper has been the essence of controversy and legal drama since his rise to fame. He has beef with a number of rappers, including YG and Trippie Redd. Earlier this week, he encountered a shooting at the filming of his video with Kanye West and Nicki Minaj in Beverly Hills. No one was harmed. The incident caused his label, Universal Music Group, almost $500,000 on Wednesday, November 14th. The sexual misconduct charges were dropped against him after pleading guilty to disorderly conduct. Let's see. So I'm just gonna read. I shouldn't. Whatever. Okay. So it says, Instagram on Thursday to announce the firing of his entire team, including his management. The Tati rapper is renowned for obnoxiously screaming Treyway, who manages the rapper. According to his recent post on Instagram, this relationship has gone sour. I got no manager, no booking agent, no PR, no publicist. It's just me, says the Gummo rapper. What they like? Shout out to the source though. Hold on. That's where I'm getting this information for you guys. And then in sad news, Kim Porter was reportedly battling pneumonia for weeks, treated with saline and vitamins before death. Kim Porter is one of Diddy's baby mamas. It's funny when I have to explain that to somebody, like what a baby mama is. And it's just my dad. Like when I'm like, oh yeah, you know his baby mama. He's like, what? And I'm like, the mother of his kids. You know, they share 3 kids together, and then Diddy also helped raise Quincy pretty much because they were together for on and off for 11 years. Diddy's reportedly devastated and shocked about the untimely passing of the mother of his 3 children. Diddy is devastated and shocked. He and Kim were still very close friends and co-parents, even though the romantic relationship didn't work. A source tells People they were still a family. The source adds, it's very sad to hear that. I know some people took to the internet to like kind of like send their condolences out to that. I was extremely shocked when I found out about that, and I felt I was so sad because that's 2 little girls that are, you know, being raised without their mom, and being a woman who is so close to her mom. I just think about like they're like 8-9 years old, and at that age it's so very important to be, you know, with your mom, but they're also in really good hands with Diddy. Like, I mean, he's raised awesome men and is very into the whole women empowerment thing, because I've seen what he does with, you know, the daughters, because he has 3 daughters, and I see that, like I see all of those things. So our condolences go out to him, his family, her family, and you know, just keep your head up, Diddy. I know you lost Cassie too, but it's okay. It's all gonna be good. Things get better. Real quick, a new Dipset documentary set to drop. Excuse Me set to drip. Ice Cube released his 3rd album, The Predator, 26 years ago. Ghostface Killah confirms ODB biopic is greenlit. New Woo music on the way. Iggy Azalea announces she owns her masters. And yeah, that's all the stuff that I saw that I wanted to share with you guys. And something that I've been thinking about like constantly. Last week I talked about it a little bit, the Dangerous video with the Meek Mill song, and I would love to go back into a time in hip hop where women weren't so like in the videos like they are now. I just want to understand. I really want to understand that, like, what made, like, is it, I understand that sex sells. I just don't understand why they gotta have like a million women in the video. Like, I was watching I Get the Bag video the other day, and then it's just like in the beginning it's like they're all just walking, and when I think Get the Bag, I'm in my mind I'm expecting some motherfucking shooting shit and like drugs, like you know, or like working, or like why not show women like getting ready for work or going to work and getting the bag? If you want to have beautiful women, like why not showcase that side? So that's my only problem that I really have with hip hop right now. That's just something that I've been seeing because I mentioned this before in other episodes that I'm starting to watch a lot more music videos, and it's just an observation that I've made. And I've seen some old school music videos. Like I see there's an a Rakim video that I've seen many times, and like what he's talking about is the same shit that rappers are talking about now, but like the video is not like that. The video is rugged. The video is gangster. The video is like in your motherfucking face. And I'll watch that shit plenty of more times than, another video that just has like a whole bunch of ass and titties. I get it. But men, you do realize that us women, we can either make or break your career, kind of, sort of. Just saying. And so to close out the show, I did want to tell you and share with you guys 10 things that the podcast has taught me. Now, this is some things that I've learned from episodes. This is some things that I've just learned just in general of what, the podcast is. Number 10 is be proud of where you are from. Now, I learned this episode 1. Episode 1, we had Dino, who was a guest on the show, and he was originally from New York, but, he moved to Miami, and, he claims Miami, like, reps it so hard, and I love that. And I've been living in Miami for damn near 20 years already this year, and I was always afraid to be like, yeah, I'm from Miami. I would always say that I was from California. Like, it was such a bad habit of mine to just say that I was from California, and it was because I wasn't ready to, I guess, let go of that part of my life. But yeah, it was just like, be proud of where you're from. I was raised here. I've been living here longer than I've been living in California. Like, I just had to be, a lot more prouder of that. And not just being proud of being from Miami, but also being a Latina. That's something that this podcast has also taught me as well, is that I don't just have a female voice. I also have a Latina voice, a Latina that's in hip hop voice, a Latina in general voice. And so it gave me that as well. I was born in America, raised in America. My parents are not, they were born in Nicaragua, both of them. And so I was just, not that I was just trying to hide that culture, but it was just something that I just never was like, yeah, I'm a Latina woman, or I'm Nicaragüense, or whatever. That's something that has taught me that as well. And so yeah, so just be proud of where you are from. Number 9 is you don't have to be great to start. Now, I said that because if you watch the first couple of episodes, I mean, a lot would say that I was bomb at what I do, and a lot of people have told me like you were made to do this. But I always thought that like I had to go to school, that I had to be great, that I had to, I remember in the first couple of episodes, I would edit them, and I would like edit out a lot of the ums that I would say, and I would edit out, even like not edit, but I would edit my laughs because they were so loud. Until one time my aunt was just like, I love your laugh, like your laugh is just so contagious. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm so self-conscious about my laugh. And it was just, it's just like you always think that you have to be great. I always thought that I had to like do it in a studio, that I had to have top notch, everything. And, you just learn as you grow. And then one of the things that, like, when we first started, we were doing it at a studio. Then we started doing it in the living room. If you were to see the first episodes, that living room looked sad. That living room. But we made it work. It wasn't great. Like, but then now, like, we have the lights, we have the camera, we have another camera. We have like you guys see the scrolling thing in the bottom. We ain't have that in the first episodes. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have that. We got a new mic stand, like, it's just, you just don't have to be great to start. You just have to just want it. You have to want it so bad. And you just cannot let what anybody or what anything, like, you just got to do it. You got to do it. You don't have to be great to start. You just got to do it. You just got to start. Number 8 is patience. Lord, let me tell you, there have been times where my patience has been tested more than once. I remember before we got this awesome program that Have got for us. Thank you, Have. I used to have to edit the episodes myself, and I used to have to do them. And I remember, not that my Saturdays are so eventful, Not that they're so eventful, but you know, I remember I used to spend my whole fucking Saturday editing the show, and I would like by the end of I would like it was like a whole like. And then I remember there'll be times that like I wouldn't have space or like I couldn't save it or like, and then you know like I just had to learn patience, and then not just patience in like the editing and like all that stuff, but it just taught me patience and like this is something that I had been waiting for to do for such a long time, and just in that in itself it taught me the patience that I needed, because then now it's kind of like you waited this long to pursue this dream, so I guess you can wait a little longer, you know, to post this episode or to have this specific guest or whatever. Shout out to all the guests that we have had. 42 episodes is insane. I need to bring a new guest. We were doing no guest November, so you know in December we got some cool people lined up for you guys. But yeah, so just like you know patience. You just gotta have patience for your dreams. You have to have patience. You know, everything happens in the time that it's supposed to happen, and you know we can't change that. So you have to have patience, because if not you're gonna go crazy. Number 7, it won't always be perfect. Boy, have you this episode itself I have like messed up a couple of little words, you know what I mean, in my speech. Sometimes I get too excited. My mind goes faster than my mouth does, and sometimes math goes faster than my mind. That's why I be saying some shit sometimes that I probably shouldn't say. But hey, it's already out there. You know, my sometimes I'll hit the microphone, I'll hit the camera. There have been episodes that we have filmed more than one time because it just wasn't going right. Not because I wasn't going right, but something wasn't, you know, technical. Because I'm ready. I'm always ready. Even when I don't think I'm ready, I don't know how. I end up pulling an awesome episode out of this awesome, beautiful mind of mine. But it's not always going to be perfect. You know, like there have been times where like me and how we might be low-key beefing, and we still gotta do it, like, and we still gotta work together, and it's not going to be perfect. Or there have been times where we had a guest who was going to come and they end up not being able to come because of something that happens that, you know, we can't control that. Or there just have been so many times that it just hasn't been perfect. There have been episodes that I wish, you know, they wouldn't have, you know, gone the way that they did, and they do. You know, but who am I to do that? It's just not always going to be perfect. Another thing is to listen. That's number 6, is to listen. Because I love to talk, but one of the things that this podcast has taught me a lot is to learn to listen. And not to learn to listen to answer, but learn to listen so you can understand. One of the things about having guests here is you can't just like, you know, cut them off. You know what I mean? Like you can take the conversation or the question to like another, you know, into another realm, but you have to also learn to listen, because one of my now I'm being really transparent with you guys. One of my faults that I have is that I'm looking at you like I'm all ears, like I'm listening full on to everything that you have said. Javier's in the room; he's the witness that I'm probably not listening. It's so bad because I'm listening, but I'm not. I'm looking at you like, yeah, he did not say that, and then I'm not listening. So, but yeah, so the podcast has definitely taught me to listen more and listen to understand, not to answer. So, and listen, this is just in general, like this is what the podcast taught me, but it's also taught me to be like that, just like in normal conversations that I'm having with people. It's just like I need to learn to listen. Number 5 is people who support you are the ones you least expect. Now, one of the people that I least expected to support first, it was Killer K. I mean, I knew Killer K was very supportive of like the artists that came onto to the Miami Live and performing, and the mixtapes and like all that, legend shit that he be doing. But when I noticed that he like really wanted to come on the show, he would shout me out when like, we would walk into Miami Live, and he was one of the ones that I least expected. There was also EFN, like, they just supported me, and like it has been so unexpected. And even people who I know that like they don't, not that they don't support me, but it's kind of like, oh wait, you actually saw the episode, or like you actually, like, you know what I mean, like, or like, yeah, I see what you're doing. And it's just like it's the people that you least expect. And number 4, honesty is your best policy. I don't think I've ever been on here and not have told the truth about how I'm feeling, about what I'm feeling that week, about how I'm feeling that day, or there's been times where one of the things that Jav and I were talking about was my bluntness, about being very blunt and kind of just like speaking my mind. And listen, there's times where like I'll say some crazy dumb shit on the podcast and I'm thinking about it the rest of the day. And then I'm like, you can't think that way. You can't just be like, you can't be hard on yourself. Once it's out on the podcast, like, then that's it. Like, you already said it. You already said how you felt. Like, and at that moment it was something that you wanted to share with them. So, don't take that away. So honesty is your best policy. Number 3 is ask questions. Not just in podcasts, but in life. In your, like, just ask questions. Like, ask questions of, like, there have been times where I've had guests on here that they'll say something that just like sparks a question up in my mind, and I ask it to them. You know what I mean? And then, so that has taught me just in life to ask questions, because before, when I would just stay quiet when somebody would say something that would spark my mind, I just would stay quiet. I wouldn't ask a question. I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't care. Or I would be afraid to ask the question. Like, we, as humans, we're just naturally curious, so it's okay to ask questions. And even like at work, if I don't understand something, like, I just ask the damn question. Number 2 is to have fun. I have so much fun doing this. Like, I have so much fun. Like, it's just an hour, but man, I have so much fun in this hour. There, you guys have, if you have seen any other if you have seen other episodes, you see what I'm talking about. This home. It's not gonna be perfect because your girl can't talk sometimes, but it's, just having fun. Like, when the guests come, like, we vibe with them before, and like, we chill and we talk shit, and then the cameras come on and that continues, and because we're just having fun. This is fun for me. This is obviously something that I want to generate an income from, but I just want to have fun. I want to have fun doing this. I don't want to be stressed out. Like, I don't want to be doing all of that crazy shit. I just want to have fun. I want to inform you guys. I want to educate you guys. I want to talk about equality. I want to talk about positivity, but I want to have fun when I'm doing it, because I am not a serious person. I'm a serious person in when I need to be, but I'm not. I love just like having fun. I love laughing. I love living out loud. Like, that's just how I am. It's my personality. So yeah, just have fun. And number 1, numero uno, is just be yourself. That's something that the podcast has taught me a lot, is just to be yourself. And not that in the beginning episodes I wasn't being myself, but I was just afraid to be myself. So I wouldn't fully say what I was feeling, or fully say what I was experiencing, or fully just laugh, or like, just be myself, or like, just sit back and, or even drink wine, or, talk about, the extracurricular activities that I would do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, just be yourself. Like, in life, in your podcast, when you're driving, be yourself. When you in the gym, just be yourself. Because you cannot be anybody else but yourself. And if you are genuinely yourself at all times, you don't have to apologize to nobody about it. Because it's just like, well, that's how I felt in that moment. That's how I felt when I said it. That's because you were just being yourself. I remember when I was younger, I was just trying so hard to be like the popular girls in school. And even as an adult woman, I always wanted to be like the popular girls on Instagram, the popular girls at work, or the popular girls, in Herbalife, and like all that stuff. And it was just like, bitch, you popping as fuck. Just be yourself. Like, people love you for being yourself. So just be yourself. So I'm just going to go real quick down the top 10 again. So number 10 is be proud of where you are from. Number 9 is you don't have to be great to start. Number 8 is patience. Number 7, it won't always be perfect. Number 6 is to listen. Number 5 is people who support you are the ones you least expect. Number 4, honesty is your best policy. Number 3, ask questions. Number 2, have fun. And number 1, be yourself. So be yourself, be great, drink your water, mind your business. Like, just be, the best person that you can be. And so that's what the podcast has taught me, and hopefully those lessons, this wisdom that I am sharing with you guys is, you guys can use it for something in your life. And then it doesn't apply to podcasts, because if you look at this list, where does it say anything about like learning how to talk? It's just something that I need to learn how to do. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. But yeah, it's episode 42. I thought that I would give you guys, I've given you guys a top 10 of things, like lists and shit that I've gotten from like emails. But I'm like, this time I want to make my own. I want to give the people something. So I was like, I got to give them a top 10 of what I've learned in the podcast. So shout out to that. The episode of Drink Champs dropped that we were, the audience in, which was the one with Talib Kweli and Dead Prez. Shout out to that. Amazing experience. I saw the picture and I saw myself on there. I haven't seen the actual footage, because I was at the concert when it dropped. I was watching Marc Anthony perform. Like, oh my god, that was so crazy. But yeah, so Hav sent me the picture of like, one of the pictures that came out, and I happen to be in that picture. And like I said, when I spoke about the experience, I just feel like I'm like so close to like I'm close. I don't know how close, but I'm close. I'm getting there, and we getting somewhere, and I'm just very grateful for that. Did you have anything, that you wanted to add to the podcast today on episode 42?
I wanted to ask, what was your favorite song that Marc Anthony performed?
My favorite song that Marc Anthony performed. Wow, I was a little drunk. Okay, no. He performed one of my favorite songs, which is Contra la Corriente. That was like one of my favorite songs that he did. And one of my favorite things that artists always do is that they like make everyone turn the lights on your phones. I love that, because you always get to see like how many people are really there, and like, because you just see a whole bunch of fucking phones up, and I just always think that that's cool. I would say another one like that he did is, because there were just so many. Like the song that he closed it with, which was Vivir mi vida, like Vivir. What was it? No, I think it's I know it's Vivir. Voy a reír. He closed it with that song, and I thought that was a great song to finish it with. One of my favorite things that he actually did was he would tell like his band, he's like, I thought we were in Miami, why are they sitting down? And then everybody would like get up and go crazy, and his energy, and girls were like throwing their pennies at him and bras at him. I was shook. I've been to hip-hop concerts, I ain't never seen that before. And I was just like, it was just so awesome. And then one of the things that I was telling my mom was, you just felt like that, like Latin pride in the room. It was so, like, it was electrifying. Like, when he'd be like, ¿Dónde está mi latino? And everybody would just go fucking crazy. And I could just imagine, like, this is Miami, so there was Puerto Ricans, Cubans. The couple that we met, there were Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Nicaraguenses, like all over the world. Like, I could just imagine. And then, seeing a Latin artist performing, and then just hearing the drums and the singers, and he was dancing like while he was singing, and man, that was just awesome. That was such a great experience. I'm just so happy I got to experience it. And then it was funny because like I'll be like to my dad, I'll be like, player, we here. Player, we here. Thank God nothing bad happened. We got home safe. Man, it was just an awesome experience. I remember I was telling him I wanted to valet the whip and everything. I was really gonna pay for that valet. I paid $30 for parking. Valet was $40. Bruh. And the only reason why I didn't get the valet was because it was pre-sold. Like you had to prepay the valet. And I had gotten an email about it the night before, and then I was just like, damn, should I get the valet? I saw the price. I didn't think it was that bad. That was the price that I was thinking I was going to pay either way. Because I know Miami, y'all be taxing for everything. And so I was just like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna valet it. And then I'm like, nah, because then you're gonna have to wait forever for the valet guy to get the car. And then That's what I think. So then the next day, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get the valet. That shit was sold out. So I'm like, thank God I didn't do that. And then it allowed us to, go to Bayside, vibe, chill, and then that was just. I'm really happy that I gotta talk about it this episode. That was like last night I was just like, I'm talking about this tomorrow on the podcast because that concert was just everything, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to go and experience that with my dad. I want to wish you guys an awesome weekend, an awesome Saturday, Dub Saturday. Make sure to go check out the new video that we have by Spitz called Grizzly. Shot obviously in Miami. Shout out to that, So excited. Next week is episode 43. It's gonna be Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving weekend. We are not taking no break on our Thanksgiving weekend just because it's a break. But I want to wish all of you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you spend it with your family. Make sure to not just be thankful on Thursday, but to be thankful each and every single day because you only have one life to live. And thankfully, you were able to open your eyes this morning and you were able to live. You were able to breathe. You were able to experience life in its moment. There are some people who are not able to do that, so just be grateful. Eat every single day, and on Thursday just live in the moment. Don't be on your phones too much, and just have conversations and like real conversations about life, and just enjoy the moment. Okay, and tune in on Saturday for episode 43 of the Ambition Hour podcast. This is episode 42, and for the 42nd time in a fucking row, it's your girl AuDii 3000, and I am out. La 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 la.